Hi, Ben.
Hey Mel, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
Yeah, very good, thanks.
Where are you right now?
I'm in Istanbul in Turkey. Been here
Um,
for quite a while now, over a month, but headed to Indonesia next week. So very excited for that.
Super awesome. Cool. Um, the purpose of this call is actually to track like where basically you are now and where like basically like how this program actually helped you to start your business. So do you want to tell us a bit about how it all got started? Back then, I remember that we met in Thailand at Singui Muay Thai. We're doing the same, going at the same Muay Thai gym. So do you want to tell us a bit how, like how we kind of started to discuss about, building your business? And what were you kind of feeling back then? How were you feeling there?
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, we met at the Muay Thai gym. I had literally just at that point, I had a few weeks beforehand, I had quit my job and decided I wanted to be a digital nomad and I wanted to start an online business. And I had a sort of vague idea that I wanted to do something to do with presentation, pitch, coaching. But that was kind of as far as I had gotten with the process. Um, I had at the time I had a sort of video course that I was following and watching, which was useful to kind of get me in the mindset, but I really sort of wanted some one-to-one coaching and someone who could kind of really guide me through the process of getting my business off the ground. Like obviously I knew the area about, giving presentations and pitching, but I'd never started a business before. And, I wasn't at all familiar with social media and how to use that.
Yeah.
And everyone's telling me that's the place to go to get the
Yeah.
word out and find clients. So
Yeah.
yeah, we
Yeah.
met at the Muay Thai place. And like, we just got talking, went for breakfast, I think, after a morning Muay Thai
Yeah.
session, and started chatting about the business. It turned out that you were a coach who helps coaches and just kind of seemed to be a good fit.
Yeah. So can you tell us a bit about how you were feeling back then? Like in terms of, were you feeling lost? Like I remember that you told me I really don't know what to do. I don't know how to get started. Like what was in your head back then? And were you actually thinking about hiring someone for, like to help you? Um yeah. Well,
Yeah, so at that point, I was, as I mentioned, I was kind of following this video course, and this video course kept telling me like you want to niche down as much as possible, and
yeah.
I found that really useful advice, but also confusing, and I wasn't quite
Yeah.
sure how to do it, and it being a video didn't really help me, discuss it through with anybody.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I was feeling a little bit stuck, I think I would say it was a word. I wasn't really sure how to
Yeah.
move forward with it. I knew it was something I wanted to do, but and I was, at that point I was very much like it would be really good to have somebody that I could, bounce ideas off and who knew how to do this and could kind of guide me through the process. Because I figured if I just try to figure it out myself, it's going to take me 6 months to a year. Where if someone just
Yeah.
kind of shows me the ropes, then it could be, much more
Yeah.
expedited.
So you would say that the one-on-one really helped you to kind of like define what you really wanted to do, right?
Yeah, so I think we had a like an hour and a half strategy session to start off with.
Business
And
focus. Yeah.
from that, I kind of felt confident in what my niche should be.
Yeah.
And then, it was like, okay, let's do this. Let's go ahead with the full 3-month program.
Yeah. Do you want to tell us a bit about this business focus session? I remember we went to this cafe. I can't remember the name actually. Oh. I think it's rustic blue. Oh yeah. Rustic blue in Phuket. And like, do you want to tell us a bit about how you were feeling back then? Like, what was in your head, and did you really feel that you could actually find, like, in it was what, an hour to maybe two, uh that you could find your business focus, and did you believe that you could actually build your business back then?
Yeah, so I was very obviously very hopeful that, you were gonna be able to help me to sort of unstuck myself, if you will, with that.
Yeah.
I was, for days I was like going around and around in my head about it. And yeah, we went to that cafe which had an awesome view of the sea, I remember. And yeah, you kind of asked me some really good questions, and we kind of chatted it through. And yeah, it was just very much kind of just what I needed at that point.
Yeah.
And helped sort of give me the confidence to go to the next step, really.
So at the end of the session, we decided, okay, you're gonna be a pitch coach, right? I remember that.
Yeah,
Um,
so we decided like pitch coaching for entrepreneurs and startups.
yeah. So how are you feeling back then?
How was I feeling? You mean
Yeah.
after the session?
Yeah.
I mean, after the session, I was like, it was sort of a relief to not be going round and round in my head about
Yeah.
it. And I was like, okay, it makes sense now. I had, yeah, I kind of had what I needed to go past that sticking point, really.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Cool. And so after that, we decided to, like, you decided to go ahead with the full program, so full 3 month program. We started to do your plan. And as you said, you didn't have, like, pretty much no social media experience. Um, so I would say, how are you feeling about this whole process of, like, I know it was like like, it was a lot in one go. But were you feeling that you could actually achieve what you wanted to achieve? And what was your main goal? What was your main goal back then?
So back then, I really wanted to hit the ground running. I was a little impatient, I think I would say. I was like, I just want to get going,
I would say super motivated.
yeah, very motivated. And I was
Yeah,
like, um, I remember one of our first sessions, I was like, just assume I'm an idiot with social media. I've barely used it before. So please just
yeah,
kind of help
yeah,
me get started with that. And you kind of took me through. I had a profile that I hadn't used since university, I think.
yeah. Your Facebook
And
profile, yeah, yeah.
yeah, my Facebook profile. So yeah, that kind of first bit was really what I needed. Also, just to have someone like yourself to ask questions. I know I asked you a lot of questions constantly. To
That was
have
okay.
a go-to person who knows what they're doing, to be able to kind of guide me through getting started with that, and getting started with posting and all of these things, which I had really just never done before.
Yeah, cool, awesome. And so in terms of your goals, so obviously you wanted to build a business, you wanted to be your own boss, you wanted to be able to work and travel in the same time. Like, how did that go?
Yeah, well, I mean, by the end of the program, I had my first few customers, which was awesome. And I think I had already made enough to cover the cost of the program
Yeah,
from that, which was amazing. Um, and so yeah, I mean, I went from just kind of an idea, and I wanted to be my own boss and have my own business. And you know um that's exactly what I got. It's just,
yeah,
by the end of it, I was like, well, I no longer am I the guy saying I'm in the process of starting a pitch coaching business. I'm just like, I'm a pitch coach. That's what I do. I have
yeah,
clients,
yeah,
and and I have a methodology now for getting clients.
yeah.
So
Cool. And what was the most like difficult for you, like during the whole process of the 3 months?
Interestingly, I would say it was the sales bit. And the reason I say that is
Um,
because my background is sales.
yeah.
I'm a sales
Yeah, I
guy.
remember you told me like I have sales background. I don't need training on that.
Yeah. But I realized pretty quickly my sales background is selling, long sales cycles, 6-month sales cycles, selling to big corporate organizations. And it's just
Yeah,
totally different than selling to individuals. And my old processes were great selling to banks and law firms,
yeah,
but this was a very, very different thing, and it was more just getting out of old habits from
yeah,
that and finding a new process, and understanding a new process. So for me, that was the most sort of frustrating bit, I guess. Yeah, just unlearning certain
yeah,
things so that I could do it in the right way for this.
yeah. And how are you like feeling about selling? Because obviously, like we focus on like in the Freedom Tribe, we focus on high ticket clients, so it's 1 to 10K clients. How are you feeling about selling like your first? I can't remember how much was the first client actually. 1.5.
Yeah, something like that. It started like that at the beginning, and then obviously as I kind of grew in confidence and my program got more and more proven, the price increased. Um, but yeah, so that was but the selling aspect of it, for me, I just needed to retweak, the
Yeah,
way that I was originally doing it. And yeah, we managed to do that really well.
yeah. So what's I would say like if you had let's say like three things that or more like as you want that really like helped you in terms of like where you feel you really upgraded your skills and you really learned what you needed to learn by working together, what would that be?
So how to a strategy for finding clients through Facebook,
Mm,
how to create myself an online presence through social media. For me, that I went
yeah.
from nothing to having an online business.
And be seen as an
Um,
expert, yeah, in your area, yeah.
yeah, exactly. And building authority through social media.
Mm-mm.
Then yeah, the sales, tweaking the sales bit, to work for my audience. And then yeah, getting, we built an ebook as well in the final month there, which is really helpful as well to kind of help more make me look
Build
more
trust,
professional,
yeah,
and build trust.
yeah.
uh, so yeah.
Okay. So you would say like the social media part as well as obviously the sales part and the funnel part with the ebook and yeah, cool,
Yeah.
cool, cool, cool. And if I go back to actually your background, like what can you explain a little bit like who you were before? Actually, I forgot to ask you that question. Because I know, but nobody knows. So you were working in startups, right?
Yeah, so I was working in business development and sales for a variety of kind of fintech and legal tech startups.
Mm,
So I was very involved in pitching and sales towards corporate organizations, and some involvement with pitching for investment as well. And
yeah,
so that's really what helped me decide on what my niche was going to be.
yeah,
So, but yeah, as I say, that type of sales is very different than this type of sales. So it was a really, yeah,
yeah.
important
What is
switch that I needed to make.
what is funny is that people who actually are into sales, like a 9 to 5 job, for example, they will actually like it will be a total different type of sale when it's sales for yourself. And that's super amazing to see like the transformation of people. But how so what was your main block when you actually signed your first client?
My main block.
Yeah. Or like your main, I would say, like struggle.
You mean before I signed my first client?
Yeah.
Um, I guess just, the things that probably most people go through in that, is that how long is it going to take for me to find somebody? Am I going to be able to find somebody just through social media? Um, you know,
Mm-hmm.
as I said, I'm used to like a 6-month courting process to get a company to buy something from me, and this is
Yeah.
like, one or two phone calls, and
Yeah.
they're a client. So it's
Yeah.
it's that, I guess, yeah, just getting my head around that and being confident that, that was
You can tell.
possible. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. And so in terms of sales, how many sales did you did you make like after I would say after the program?
So I think I made my first sale just at the end of our first month working together,
Yeah.
which was awesome.
Yeah.
Um, and then in the next couple of months, I got my next three or four after that. Can't remember exact dates at this point. But yeah, by the end of the program, I had already made a positive return on investment on what I had spent.
Yeah. And that was around, I think, 1.5K to 2K per client, right?
Yeah, at that point.
Roughly. Yeah. Cool. And so in terms of obviously it's easy to build a not easy, but but it's easy to build a business and just, to have a few clients and then you disappear, right? So in terms of what this program brought you, in terms of the business foundations, because I always talk about business foundations, how it is important to build a long-term business. So how do you feel like, do you feel you have like after actually you left the program, like you finished the program, did you feel that you had the right foundations in order to, keep your business up running and get the clients on a consistent basis?
Yeah, so I think the big thing there was I had a process for getting clients on social media, and I had a process for converting them into sales.
Yeah,
So it was awesome to get me started, and then
yeah,
as I continued on, I carried on the process, and by that point I started getting like word of mouth referrals as well, which was
that's
really
so nice.
awesome.
Yeah.
I really, that's like the real kind of proof that what
I,
I'm doing was really helping people, which was great.
I remember at some
And
point you told me, oh, but there were some people reaching out to me to actually work with me and not anymore. And it's been only 3 days or something. I'm like, you're getting
yeah.
used to having people like, people reaching out to you. And you've only built your business like not even 2 months ago. Okay. Yeah, that was really cool. Yeah, okay. So you had so you feel you had the foundations to actually like get the, clients after that, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool. And that's what you did because obviously now you still have your business and it's been how long has it been?
I think it's
It's
been a
been
month and a half since we finished. And yeah, I got a
yeah.
new client this week, so it's still going,
Yeah.
strong. So yeah,
Yeah. And
I have a business. I'm a digital nomad, and that was the goal.
yeah. Awesome. I'm so happy for you. And the thing is, so there's one thing I want to emphasize on. I always say that, obviously my message is build a business and do what you love while earning good money. And there's one thing I really want to emphasize on is that you are working with actually people you are aligned with, and that you really enjoy working with those people. And that's something that basically also is easy to your brain, right? Um, And what I was going to say about that, I can't remember. But yeah, can you tell us a bit about the type of clients you're working with? Like, are you happy to work with them? Um, and how do you feel about, like just working with them on an everyday basis?
Yeah, so I mean that's kind of been a process. As when we started off, it was kind of entrepreneurs, and that could be kind of other digital nomads and solopreneurs, or sort of
Mm,
founders of startups.
mm,
As I've kind of progressed more recently, I've started to go more down the route of startups.
yeah,
And that's where I've sort of found, that I can really help people. But equally, I have had clients that are kind of more solopreneurs. So yeah, that generally it started off as helping people pitch for clients or for investment. But
yeah,
I'm very much now going down the route of helping startups pitch for investment and making
yeah,
things a little bit more specific, which
yeah,
is great, because when I first started, I was, that bit I was a little bit more cautious about. It felt bigger and scarier at the time.
yeah,
But that's where I've now found that I can really help people. And
mm,
I've had clients that have, within the space of our program, managed to find investment, and it's been really
yeah.
great to be able to help people like that.
Yeah, and also it's your own business, so you can do whatever you want. You can change your business focus. You actually can, work with the clients you want. And can you tell us about that? Actually, how I think what's important as well for people to understand is that it's not like you just take any client, and you've done that like super well. You set like super strong boundaries. So when you actually started with like working with people, what was the kind of a selection process, I would say, like, and the approach, I would say, that you had?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think that's something that kind of evolved a little bit over time. Obviously when I first started, it was still finding my feet, and I was like, yeah, everything to do with it, I'm going to
yeah,
take. But what I slowly found is that I had some people coming to me who were more interested in sort of sales coaching,
mm,
rather than what I'm specializing in, which is more sort of presentation and pitch coaching.
yeah.
Um,
But did
and
you
so
say
I've
no to some people,
Yeah,
like
I
back then?
originally I took on one or two, but it ended up just being a session or two, which was not really what the high ticket
Yeah,
stuff that we were looking for. So I sort of nipped that in the bud relatively early on, and started just
yeah,
focusing on, I have one program, and
yeah,
this is what my program is.
yeah,
And other people who want other things, maybe I'm not the best fit for.
yeah.
So
So,
that was quite difficult to get to that point, but yeah, I'm very much there now, and I have my
yeah,
program, and I know that it works, and the goal is to just keep on scaling with that.
yeah. So would you say you are in full control of your business, and like you actually choose your clients?
Yeah, I mean, I try to. Obviously, it's what
I mean,
five.
this is being overwhelmed by
Yeah,
clients,
yeah,
and actually like
absolutely.
the lead delivery part of it, and like stress mode kind of thing. Well, obviously we can see you're not stressed, but and yeah, you are a hardworking person. Don't get me wrong. Like you worked really hard for it. Um, and obviously you're working hard every day. But in terms of deliverability of like clients, like working with clients, it feels like you're still pretty like
Yeah,
happy
absolutely. I
about it.
mean, from my perspective, obviously, it was hard work, especially that first month working together.
Yes.
There's a lot of hours went into
New
that, and
stuff.
that's starting your own business. That's how it goes. And I've kind of slowly found a rhythm.
Yeah.
And always, you're gonna be working hard, but I don't feel like I'm kind of killing myself every day.
Yeah.
It feels pretty natural now from that
Yeah.
perspective. So yeah.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Awesome. And just like in terms of your clients and revenue, like from I would say what is like currently your average, because obviously it just from one month to the other it just like changes. But what is your kind of average revenue, and does that actually allows you to kind of live the lifestyle that you wanted in as a digital nomad?
So at the moment, I would say it's sort of between I'd say a five k a month is sort of the kind of goal. It doesn't happen every month, but that's kind of the
Yeah,
main goal at this
the
point.
average.
Obviously,
Yeah.
I look to scale as as time progresses. But I mean, for me, that was the initial goal to get started, and that that's more or less mirroring what I was earning prior to this.
Yeah.
When I was in employment, in some cases,
Yes.
some months is actually better than that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean,
So you
I'm
replaced
able.
your, yeah,
Yeah, I've
sorry,
replaced my salary for sure.
for a better
Obvious,
lifestyle.
yeah, I'm living wherever I want. I'm living in cheaper countries as well, so the money goes further. Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, I mean, it's hard to say exactly what I get every month because that's
Yeah,
business. It
obviously.
changes, but yeah, I'm managing to support myself, which
That's
is
awesome.
a decent lifestyle. So yeah.
Cool. And what are your next steps? So you talked about
So
scaling your business. Obviously, this is what every entrepreneur wants to do. So, so what is next?
So for me, what I'd like to do is start moving towards creating a group coaching program. Once I start getting enough clients to warrant that. So that's sort of my goal slowly now. It's not going to happen tomorrow, but to create something that can scale in that way rather than just doing one-to-one stuff.
Yeah. The one-to-one stuff, like as you said, actually allows you to have also time for you, right? Um,
Yeah. I
as
mean,
a
the one-to-one
digital
stuff, don't get
nomad.
me wrong, it's been great. And I'll
Mhm.
probably still continue doing that for certain clients along the way.
Yeah,
Um, but yeah, the
but
one-to-one,
scaling it after. Yeah.
yeah, I guess obviously I'm kind of new to the process, but I love the idea of kind of moving towards a group coaching program at some
Yeah.
point. That's going to be, that's a longer term goal. It's not going to happen tomorrow. And in the
Mm.
meantime, the one-to-one stuff, is amazing for building up my credibility more and more,
Agree.
and just with every client I learn more about how to help people in
Yeah.
my particular area. And yeah, so slowly but surely that's the goal, the group coaching.
Okay. So scaling for group coaching, how much do you want to be earning? And I guess it's not the question of, like to me, it's never a question of money, right? It's more a question of like loving the process and actually loving your business and making sure that, you actually aligned with whatever you do. But how much do you see like yourself having per month, and what would you want to do with it? Just the last question.
um yes, it's a hard one. So I guess I always like to look at kind of the ultimate goal is to have a successful group coaching program, but kind of along the way, I'd like to get to the point of 10k per month.
Yeah.
And so that's sort of the next financial goal that I have in mind, really.
Yeah, yeah. And what would you do with it? Like, because obviously you're living in like different countries. Like, for example, you're going to Indonesia, Bali, um, home sweet home. And so obviously over there you have, lower cost of living and everything. So what do you want to do with this money? And what is your, I would say, what are your long-term goals?
So for me, I think it's super important to keep investing in myself. You know,
Yeah.
often that's the thing that I spend a lot, money on. So, I will be finding other, programs to take it further. Once I'm properly ready to do group coaching, I'll find myself a program that helps me do group coaching.
Yeah.
And uh, you know,
And help more
so
people in general.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So that's definitely going to be a part of it. Obviously, just having a more comfortable lifestyle as I continue traveling. But I'm not a huge, massive spender anyway.
Mm,
But I mean, for me, part of traveling and working online is having awesome experiences, and some of these things cost money. So being
yeah.
able to afford to do all those things that I want to do, to also just to give back as well in some way,
Yeah,
would
definitely.
be great.
Mm.
So yeah, I'm not the type of person who's like, oh, I'm gonna go buy a Porsche or something like that. That's not sort of
Yep.
my goal right now anyway. It's just more about the lifestyle and getting the business
Having a
to the
nice
point.
life. Yeah.
Yeah, and getting the business to the point where I want to be. I mean, where I am now is amazing, but obviously, there's always sort of the next step, and
Of
you know,
course. Yeah.
yeah,
So awesome. Thank you so much, Ben, for this interview. That's hopefully that's gonna help a lot of people who want to start a business and actually want to, like get things off the ground and just totally have I would say like this is a life change, right? This is total life change, total lifestyle change. And yeah, I do hope it's gonna help a lot over there people understand like what's the full process and what they, like what you went through. That's super inspiring. Like you literally went from zero to hero and it's gonna keep going. So that's super awesome. Cool. So thank you so much. I wish you the best. Anyway, we keep in touch as usual. I'm probably gonna see you in Bali anyway. And is there a last thing that you want to advise people who are starting from scratch?
I would say, like, I think whatever it is that you want to do, it's absolute no-brainer to invest in a coach or somebody who's gonna
Yeah,
who's going to help you do it. You can muddle along with it for a year and have no results if you don't know what you're doing, or
yeah,
you can invest in yourself and have somebody show you the steps.
yeah,
For me, it's a no-brainer.
mm,
And I plan to continue doing that, as I continue to grow and as I continue to scale, like someone to keep you accountable and someone to help you with the stuff that you've never done before, because everyone knows something in their particular area, and it's silly not to
yeah.
capitalize on what other people know and are readily
Exactly.
available
I
to give it to
agree.
you.
Yeah,
The idea that you have to sort of learn everything yourself just from reading stuff online, I think is a little bit madness, to be honest. um
yeah,
so yeah.
yeah. Totally agree. Great advice. Okay, awesome. I'm not gonna take much more of your time. Thank you so much, and I will see you when I see you somewhere in the world.
Perfect. Thanks so much, Mel. It's been great.
Yeah. See ya.